Welcome, little dreamers. Tonight, let us embark on a magical journey with a brave young girl named Elara and her glowing friend, Lumia. Together, they will face incredible challenges and discover the true power of courage and friendship as they return Lumia to her home among the stars. So, snuggle in, close your eyes, and let the adventure begin with the silver star on the hill. Chapter 1. The discovery and the journey begins. In a quiet village nestled among rolling hills, a young girl named Elara lay in her bed, gazing out her window at the night sky. The stars twinkled like diamonds, each one telling a story of its own. As she drifted closer to sleep, a sudden flash of light caught her eye. She sat up, her heart racing, and watched in awe as a brilliant silver star streaked across the sky, its tail blazing a path of light. Elara scrambled out of bed, her curiosity piqued. She threw on her cloak and tiptoed out of her house, careful not to wake her parents. The air was crisp and cool, filled with the scent of blooming night flowers. She hurried towards the hill behind her home, the highest point in the village. As she climbed, the light grew brighter, guiding her steps. At the top of the hill, Elara saw it, a glowing, pulsing entity nestled in the grass, casting a silvery glow over everything. The star, now resting on the earth, radiated a warmth that felt both strange and comforting. Elara approached cautiously, her eyes wide with wonder. She had heard stories of falling stars, but never had she imagined encountering one herself. The star seemed almost alive, its light flickering like a heartbeat. She reached out tentatively, her fingers tingling as they neared the ethereal glow. To her amazement, the star responded to her touch. It pulsed more brightly, sending waves of warmth through her. Elara felt an unexplainable connection to it, as if the star were calling out to her, pleading for help. She knew in her heart that this star did not belong on the earth. It needed to return to the sky, to its rightful place among the constellations. Determined, Elara knelt beside the star. "I will help you," she whispered. "I promise." As if understanding her words, the star began to change. Its light intensified and its form shifted, becoming more defined. Before Elara's astonished eyes, the star transformed into a small, glowing creature. It had delicate wings that shimmered like silver, and its eyes, bright and curious, seemed to hold the wisdom of the cosmos. The creature did not speak with words, but Elara felt its thoughts and emotions. Images and feelings flowed into her mind, painting a vivid picture of a distant realm among the stars. The creature's name was Lumia, and it longed to return home. It had fallen to Earth by accident and needed Elara's help to find its way back. Elara felt a surge of determination. She knew the journey would be difficult, but she could not abandon Lumia. Together, they would embark on an adventure to return the fallen star to its celestial home. With Lumia glowing softly beside her, Elara began her descent from the hill, her heart filled with hope and a sense of purpose. As they walked, the village lay silent under the blanket of night. The path ahead was uncertain, but Elara felt a newfound courage. She was not alone. Lumia's light guided her steps, and she knew that this journey would change her life forever. With each step, the bond between girl and star grew stronger, and Elara felt a sense of magic in the air. The journey to return the silver star had begun. Elara and Lumia walked through the night, the path ahead illuminated by the star's gentle glow. The world seemed transformed by Lumia's presence, every leaf and pebble cast in an ethereal light. As they travelled, Lumia began to communicate more clearly, sharing images and emotions with Elara. Elara learned that Lumia was no ordinary star, but a guardian of dreams. Every night, Lumia would float above the earth, watching over sleeping children and ensuring they had peaceful, magical dreams. The fall had left Lumia disoriented and weakened, and it was up to Elara to help her find the way back to the sky. They travelled through the village and into the woods, the night creatures whispering their secrets as they passed. Lumia's light attracted a curious squirrel, its eyes wide with fascination. Elara smiled at the squirrel and watched as it scampered off, sharing its wonder with the other forest dwellers. As dawn approached, Elara and Lumia found themselves at the edge of the forest. They needed rest, but Elara was determined to press on. Lumia sensed her fatigue and sent a wave of warmth, urging her to rest. Reluctantly, Elara agreed, finding a soft patch of moss under an ancient oak tree. She lay down, and Lumia nestled beside her, its glow dimming to a soothing pulse. Elara drifted into a deep sleep, filled with dreams of stars and galaxies. She dreamed of soaring through the night sky, Lumia by her side, guiding her through the constellations. She felt a profound sense of peace, knowing that she was part of something much greater than herself. When she awoke, the sun was rising, casting a golden light over the forest. Elara stretched and looked at Lumia, who seemed brighter and more vibrant. The rest had rejuvenated both of them. Elara felt ready to continue their journey, her determination stronger than ever. As they resumed their trek, Elara noticed a peculiar feeling in the air. It was as if the forest itself was guiding them, the trees whispering directions and the wind urging them forward. She followed the subtle signs, trusting in the magic that seemed to surround them. They soon reached a clearing where an old, gnarled tree stood at its center. Perched on one of its branches was a magnificent owl with feathers as white as snow and eyes that glowed with wisdom. The owl turned its head slowly, its gaze locking onto Elara and Lumia. "Welcome, travelers," the owl said, its voice deep and resonant. "I am Orin, the guardian of this forest. I have been expecting you." Elara's eyes widened in surprise. "You have?" Orin nodded. "The stars whispered your arrival. They told me of a brave girl and a fallen star on a quest to return to the sky. I am here to aid you on your journey." Elara felt a surge of hope. "Thank you, Orin. We could use your help." Orin spread his wings, gliding down to land gracefully before them. "The path ahead is filled with challenges, but I believe you possess the courage to face them. I will guide you as far as I can. Take this," he said, handing Elara a small, intricately carved wooden box. "Inside is a magical map that will reveal the hidden paths and secrets of our land. Use it wisely." Elara took the box with gratitude. "Thank you, Orin. We won't let you down." Orin nodded solemnly. "Remember, the journey is as important as the destination. You will learn and grow with each step you take. Trust in yourself and in your bond with Lumia." With Orin's guidance and the magical map in hand, Elara felt a renewed sense of purpose. The journey to return the Silver Star was far from over, but she knew that with courage and friendship, they could overcome any obstacle. With the magical map in her possession, Elara felt a sense of reassurance. Orin, the wise owl, perched nearby, observing her with keen, intelligent eyes. "The map will guide you, but it is up to you to interpret its signs," Orin advised. "Trust in your instincts and in the bond you share with Lumia." Elara opened the wooden box, revealing a parchment that shimmered with an inner light. As she touched it, the map unfurled, displaying a living landscape that shifted and changed. reflecting their surroundings. The path to the sky was marked by a constellation of stars, leading them through forests, rivers, and mountains. "Our first challenge lies in the Whispering Woods," Orin said, pointing a talon at a dense, shadowy area on the map. "The woods are alive with ancient magic and mischief. Be cautious, but do not fear, for you have the strength within you." Elara nodded, her resolve firm. "We will find our way through. Thank you, Orin." With Orin leading the way, they ventured deeper into the forest. The trees grew taller and closer together, their branches intertwining to form a canopy that filtered the sunlight into soft, dappled patterns on the forest floor. The air was thick with the scent of pine and moss, and the sounds of the forest, chirping birds, rustling leaves, and distant water, created a symphony of nature. As they walked, Orin shared stories of the forest and its inhabitants. He spoke of the fairies who lived in hidden groves, the ancient trees that whispered secrets, and the magical creatures that roamed the land. Elara listened intently, fascinated by the rich tapestry of lore. Suddenly, the forest grew silent. The air felt heavy, and Elara sensed they had entered the Whispering Woods. The trees here were older, their bark gnarled and twisted. Shadows danced among the roots, and the whispers of the woods began. Soft, indistinct murmurs that seemed to come from all directions. "Do not be swayed by the whispers," Orin cautioned. "They are illusions meant to confuse and mislead. Keep your focus and trust in Lumia's light." Elara held Lumia close, the star's glow providing comfort and clarity. As they moved forward, the whispers grew louder, forming words and sentences that tugged at Elara's mind. They spoke of doubt and fear, attempting to shake her resolve. "Why do you think you can succeed?" one voice murmured. "You are just a child," another whispered. Elara took a deep breath, grounding herself. "I am more than I appear," she said firmly, her voice steady. "I have courage and the strength of my friends. I will not be deterred." Lumia's light flared, pushing back the shadows and silencing the whispers. The path ahead became clear once more, and Elara felt a surge of confidence. They continued through the woods, undeterred by the attempts to dissuade them. After what felt like hours, they emerged from the thickest part of the forest into a serene glade bathed in soft golden light. Here, the trees were less foreboding, and the whispers faded into a gentle hum. Elara felt a sense of peace wash over her. Orin landed on a low branch, his eyes gleaming with approval. "You have done well, Elara. You faced the whispers with bravery and wisdom. The fairies will sense your strength and welcome you." As if on cue, tiny lights began to appear among the trees, flitting closer and revealing delicate, ethereal beings with wings that sparkled like dew in the morning sun. The fairies hovered around Elara and Lumia, their laughter like the tinkling of bells. "Welcome, brave travellers," one of the fairies said, her voice melodic. "We have been expecting you. Come, rest and share your story with us." Elara smiled, feeling a deep sense of accomplishment. She and Lumia had passed their first true test, and the journey to return the Silver Star continued to unfold before them, filled with magic and wonder. The fairies, with their luminescent wings and enchanting laughter, led Elara and Lumia deeper into the glade. The atmosphere was serene, filled with a gentle glow that seemed to emanate from the fairies themselves. They guided the pair to a circle of ancient trees, their branches intertwined to form a natural canopy, creating a sanctuary of light and shadow. Elara marveled at the beauty around her. The air was filled with the scent of blooming flowers, and the ground was carpeted with soft moss. The fairies danced and flitted about, their joy infectious. They sang songs in a language Elara did not understand, yet the melodies filled her heart with warmth and hope. One fairy, who seemed to be their leader, approached Elara with a kind smile. She was slightly taller than the others, with wings that shimmered in every colour of the rainbow. "I am Lysandra," she said, her voice like a gentle breeze. "We are the guardians of the Whispering Woods, and we welcome you, Elara and Lumia." Elara bowed her head respectfully. "Thank you, Lysandra. Your welcome means a great deal to us. We seek to return Lumia to the sky where she belongs." Lysandra's eyes sparkled with understanding. "We know of your quest, brave one. The stars themselves have whispered of your journey, but the path ahead is fraught with challenges, and you will need more than courage to succeed." Elara nodded, feeling the weight of Lysandra's words. "What must we do?" Lysandra gestured to the trees surrounding them. "The Whispering Woods are alive with magic and knowledge. The trees have seen countless journeys and hold many secrets. To navigate these woods, you must earn their trust." Elara looked around, the trees suddenly feeling more imposing. "How do I earn their trust?" "Through kindness and respect," Lysandra replied. "Listen to their whispers, understand their stories, and they will guide you." Elara closed her eyes, focusing on the whispers that had once seemed so menacing. Now they sounded like a chorus of ancient voices, each with a story to tell. She reached out with her heart, letting the trees feel her sincerity and determination. Slowly, the whispers grew clearer, forming coherent thoughts. Elara learned of the forest history, of the fairies' role in protecting it, and of the creatures that called it home. She shared her own story, her love for Lumia, and her promise to return the star to the sky. The trees responded with a gentle rustling, their branches swaying as if in approval. Lysandra smiled, sensing the connection. "You have done well, Elara. The forest acknowledges your sincerity. Now it will guide you safely through its depths." With the fairies' guidance, Elara and Lumia continued their journey. The trees seemed to part before them, revealing hidden paths that twisted and turned through the woods. The light grew softer, and the air filled with a sense of calm. As they walked, Elara noticed small glowing flowers blooming along the path. "What are these?" she asked, intrigued. Lysandra, who had been following silently, spoke up. "These are Lumina flowers. They bloom only in the presence of pure hearts. They will light your way and protect you from harm." Elara touched one of the flowers, feeling its warmth. "Thank you, Lysandra, and thank you, Whispering Woods." The fairies bid them farewell at the edge of the glade, their light fading into the forest's depths. Elara and Lumia continued on, their path now illuminated by the Lumina flowers. The journey was still long and uncertain, but Elara felt a renewed sense of purpose. She had earned the trust of the Whispering Woods, and she knew she could face whatever lay ahead. The trees whispered their encouragement as she walked, their ancient voices blending with the gentle glow of the flowers. Elara held Lumia close, the bond between them growing stronger with each step. Together, they ventured deeper into the magical realm, ready to face the next challenge on their quest to return the silver star to the sky. As Elara and Lumia ventured deeper into the enchanted forest, the path ahead seemed to shimmer with an ethereal light. The Lumina flowers continued to bloom, casting a gentle glow that guided their way. The forest felt alive, each step resonating with ancient magic and secrets whispered by the trees. Suddenly, the air around them sparkled, and the gentle laughter of fairies echoed through the woods. Tiny, delicate figures with wings that glimmered like jewels appeared, flitting around Elara and Lumia. Their presence was enchanting, their laughter melodic and filled with joy. One fairy, with wings of deep blue and eyes like sapphire stars, flew closer. "Welcome, travelers," she said, her voice as light as a breeze. "I am Nissa, a guardian of the forest. We have been watching your journey with great interest." Elara smiled warmly. "Thank you, Nissa. The fairies have been very kind to us. Your guidance has been invaluable." Nissa's eyes twinkled with mischief and wisdom. "We fairies delight in helping those with pure hearts and noble intentions. But tell me, Elara, what drives you to help this fallen star?" Elara looked at Lumia, whose light pulsed gently. "I found Lumia on the hill near my village. She needs to return to the sky where she belongs. I promised to help her, and I won't give up until she is home." Nissa nodded, her expression softening. "Your determination is admirable, but the path ahead is fraught with challenges. To reach the sky, you will need more than courage and determination." Elara felt a pang of uncertainty but stood firm. "Whatever lies ahead, we will face it together. I believe in our bond and the strength of our friendship." Nissa smiled, her wings fluttering with approval. "Very well. We shall assist you in your quest. Follow us, and we will lead you to the enchanted lake, where you will find rest and guidance for the next part of your journey." The fairies led Elara and Lumia through the forest, their path winding and mysterious. They passed through groves, where the trees whispered ancient songs and crossed streams that sparkled with magical energy. The forest seemed to welcome them, each step a dance of light and shadow. As they approached the enchanted lake, Elara felt a sense of wonder. The lake was a shimmering expanse of water, its surface reflecting the moonlight and stars above. It was a place of serene beauty and powerful magic, a sanctuary where time seemed to stand still. The fairies guided them to a small clearing by the water's edge, where soft moss formed a natural bed. "Rest here tonight," Nissa said. "The enchanted lake will soothe your spirits and grant you visions to guide your journey. When the morning comes, you will be ready to continue." Elara settled down, feeling the cool, soft moss beneath her. Lumia hovered close, its light mingling with the reflections on the lake. The fairies danced around them, their laughter a soothing melody that lulled Elara into a peaceful state. As she closed her eyes, Elara felt a deep sense of calm. The journey had been challenging, but she knew she was not alone. Lumia's light was a constant companion, and the fairy's kindness had strengthened her resolve. In her dreams, Elara saw visions of the sky, the constellations forming a path that led to Lumia's home. She saw herself overcoming obstacles, guided by the wisdom of the fairies and the strength of her own heart. The journey was far from over, but Elara felt a renewed sense of purpose and determination. When she awoke, the first light of dawn was breaking over the horizon. The fairies had gathered around, their expressions filled with encouragement. "The path ahead will test you, but remember, you have the heart of a true guardian," Nissa said. "We believe in you, Elara." Elara stood, feeling the morning light infuse her with energy. "Thank you, Nissa. We will not let you down." With the fairies' blessings and the light of Lumia guiding her, Elara prepared to continue her journey. The enchanted lake had granted her visions and strength, and she felt ready to face whatever lay ahead. As the first rays of dawn filtered through the trees, Elara and Lumia stirred from their peaceful slumber by the enchanted lake. The water's surface glistened in the early light, casting a gentle glow over the clearing. Elara stretched and looked around, feeling a profound sense of tranquility. The fairies were nowhere to be seen, but their presence lingered in the air, like the last notes of a beautiful melody. Elara and Lumia continued their journey with renewed vigor, following the path that wound through the forest. The magical map Orin had given them guided their steps, the constellations on the parchment shifting to reveal their way forward. The forest, though still filled with its ancient whispers, felt more welcoming now. Elara sensed that the trees and creatures were watching over them, their silent support bolstering her courage. As the sun climbed higher in the sky, Elara and Lumia reached a part of the forest where the trees parted to reveal a vast, shimmering lake. The enchanted lake stretched out before them, its waters so clear that Elara could see the pebbles and plants at the bottom. The lake seemed to pulse with a life of its own, the water's surface reflecting the sky in a dance of light and colour. Lumia's light glowed brighter in the presence of the lake, and Elara felt a surge of warmth and energy. She knelt by the water's edge, cupping her hands to drink. The water was cool and refreshing, and as she drank, she felt a sense of clarity and peace wash over her. Lumia hovered beside her, its light blending with the lake's reflections. "This place is truly magical," Elara said, her voice filled with wonder. "I feel like we are one step closer to our goal." As they rested by the lake, Elara noticed a ripple on the water's surface. A graceful figure emerged, gliding effortlessly towards them. It was a unicorn, its coat shimmering like moonlight and its mane flowing like a silken river. The unicorn's eyes were deep pools of wisdom, and as it approached, it bowed its head in greeting. "Greetings, travelers," the unicorn said, its voice soft and melodic. "I am Arian, guardian of the enchanted lake. I have heard of your quest and have come to offer my guidance." Elara's heart swelled with gratitude. "Thank you, Arian. Your help means a great deal to us. We seek to return Lumia to the sky." Arian nodded, his gaze gentle and kind. "The path ahead is fraught with challenges, but you have shown great courage and determination. I will guide you through the next part of your journey, for there are dangers that only a unicorn can help you navigate." Elara felt a sense of relief. With Arian's guidance, she felt more confident in their ability to overcome the obstacles that lay ahead. "We are ready," she said, standing tall beside Lumia. Arian led them along the lakeshore, where the water's edge sparkled with magical energy. The unicorn's presence seemed to amplify the lake's enchantment, and Elara felt as if they were walking through a dream. The path wound through a grove of ancient trees, their branches forming a protective canopy overhead. As they walked, Arian shared stories of the enchanted lake and its role in the balance of the magical realm. He spoke of the fairies who protected the forest, the ancient trees that held the wisdom of ages, and the creatures who called this place home. Elara listened intently, each story filling her with a deeper understanding of the magic that surrounded them. The day passed in a blur of wonder and discovery, and as the sun began to set, they reached a clearing where the trees parted to reveal a breathtaking view of the sky. The stars were beginning to twinkle, and the first hints of twilight painted the horizon in hues of pink and gold. Arian turned to Elara and Lumia. "This is where I must leave you," he said, his voice tinged with a note of sadness. The path beyond is one you must walk alone. But remember, you carry the light of the stars within you, and the strength of your friendship will guide you. Elara felt a lump in her throat. Thank you, Arian. We will never forget your kindness. The unicorn bowed his head, his eyes filled with wisdom and warmth. Go forth with courage, Elara and Lumia. The sky awaits. With Arian's blessing, Elara and Lumia continued their journey, their hearts filled with hope and determination. The challenges ahead were unknown, but they knew that together they could overcome anything. The night sky glittered above them, and the enchanted lake's magic lingered in the air, a testament to the strength of their bond. With Arian's words still echoing in her heart, Elara and Lumia continued their journey. The night air was cool and filled with the scent of blooming night flowers. The path ahead was illuminated by Lumia's gentle glow, casting enchanting shadows around them. Elara felt a mix of anticipation and determination, knowing that the road ahead was both challenging and transformative. As they ventured deeper into the forest, the trees began to thin, revealing a landscape of rolling hills bathed in moonlight. The sky above was a tapestry of stars, each one twinkling with the promise of Lumia's return. Elara marveled at the beauty of the night, feeling a profound connection to the world around her. Suddenly, a soft rustling caught her attention. From the shadows emerged a figure, its presence both majestic and calming. It was a unicorn, but this one was different from Arian. Its coat shimmered with a silvery light, and its eyes held the depth of the cosmos. The unicorn approached them with an air of grace and wisdom. "Greetings, travelers," the unicorn said, its voice a soothing melody. "I am Selene, guardian of the night. Arian has told me of your quest, and I am here to guide you to the next phase of your journey." Elara felt a surge of gratitude. "Thank you, Selene. Your guidance means everything to us." Selene nodded, her eyes reflecting the starlight. "The path ahead will take you through the Valley of Shadows, a place where your inner strength will be tested. But fear not, for you carry the light of the stars within you. Trust in your bond with Lumia, and you will find your way." Elara glanced at Lumia, whose light seemed to shine brighter in Selene's presence. "We are ready," she said, her voice filled with determination. Selene led them down a winding path that descended into a valley. The air grew cooler, and the landscape around them became more mysterious. Shadows danced among the hills, their forms shifting and changing with the light. Elara felt a sense of unease, but steeled herself, knowing that this was just another part of their journey. As they walked, Selene shared stories of the night and its secrets. She spoke of the stars and their ancient wisdom, the moon and its gentle guidance, and the dreams that flowed through the realm of sleep. Elara listened with rapt attention, each story filling her with a deeper understanding of the magic that surrounded them. The Valley of Shadows was a place of eerie beauty, where light and darkness intertwined in a delicate dance. Elara felt the weight of the shadows pressing in, testing her resolve. But Lumia's light cut through the darkness, a beacon of hope and courage. "Remember, Elara," Selene said, her voice echoing through the valley. "The light within you is stronger than any shadow. Trust in yourself and in the bond you share with Lumia." Elara nodded, her heart filled with determination. She focused on the light of Lumia, letting it guide her steps. The shadows seemed to retreat, their menacing forms dissolving in the face of their combined strength. Elara felt a sense of empowerment, knowing that they could overcome any obstacle together. As they reached the heart of the valley, Selene paused and turned to Elara. "This is where I must leave you," she said softly. "The path ahead is yours to walk alone. But know that the night watches over you, and the stars will guide your way." Elara felt a pang of sadness, but also a deep sense of gratitude. "Thank you, Selene. We will carry your wisdom with us." The unicorn bowed her head, her eyes filled with warmth and encouragement. "Go forth with courage, Elara and Lumia. The sky awaits." With Selene's blessing, Elara and Lumia continued their journey, the Valley of Shadows behind them. The challenges ahead were unknown, but they felt a renewed sense of purpose and strength. The night sky glittered above them, and the light of Lumia shone brightly, a testament to the power of their bond. As they ascended the final hill, Elara looked up at the stars, knowing that their journey was far from over, but also that they were not alone. The magic of the night and the strength of their friendship would guide them, no matter what lay ahead. Chapter 2. Trials and Triumphs. As dawn broke, casting a golden light over the hills, Elara and Lumia approached the edge of the dark forest. The trees here were dense and tall, their branches interwoven to form a canopy that blocked out most of the sunlight. The air was thick with the scent of pine and earth, and an eerie silence pervaded the forest. Elara took a deep breath, steeling herself for the challenges ahead. Lumia's light glowed softly, providing a comforting presence. "We can do this," Elara whispered, more to herself than to Lumia. The star pulsed in response, filling her with a sense of warmth and courage. They entered the forest, the path ahead barely visible. The shadows seemed to move, creating shapes that played tricks on Elara's eyes. She remembered Selene's words. "The light within you is stronger than any shadow." With that thought, she pressed on, focusing on the light of Lumia to guide her steps. As they ventured deeper, the forest grew darker and more foreboding. Strange noises echoed through the trees, rustling leaves, distant howls, and the occasional snap of a twig. Elara's heart raced, but she kept moving forward, determined not to let fear overcome her. After what felt like hours, they reached a clearing. In the center stood a massive tree, its bark twisted and gnarled. The tree seemed ancient, its roots digging deep into the earth. Elara approached cautiously, sensing that this tree was different from the others. Suddenly, a deep voice resonated through the clearing. "Who dares enter my domain?" It boomed. Elara jumped, her heart pounding. The voice seemed to come from the tree itself, its presence both intimidating and awe-inspiring. "I am Elara," she said, trying to keep her voice steady. "And this is Lumia. We seek to return her to the sky." The tree's branches rustled, and the voice softened slightly. "Many have tried to pass through the dark forest, but few have succeeded. Why should I let you pass?" Elara felt a surge of determination, because we carry the light of the stars within us. We are on a journey of courage and friendship, and we will not be deterred. There was a long silence, and Elara could feel the tree's presence weighing her words. Finally, the tree spoke again. "Very well. I will let you pass, but you must prove your worth. Solve my riddle, and you may continue your journey." Elara nodded, feeling a mix of excitement and trepidation. "What is your riddle?" The tree's voice echoed through the clearing. "I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with wind. What am I?" Elara thought for a moment, her mind racing. She repeated the riddle to herself, focusing on each clue, Suddenly the answer came to her. "An echo," she said confidently. The tree's branches rustled in approval. "You are wise, Elara. You may pass." The path through the dark forest opened before them, the trees parting to reveal a clear trail. Elara felt a rush of relief and gratitude. "Thank you," she said to the tree, her voice filled with sincerity. As they continued their journey, Elara felt a renewed sense of purpose. The challenges of the dark forest had tested her resolve, but she had faced them with courage and wisdom. Lumia's light shone brighter, a testament to their bond and determination. The forest gradually thinned, and Elara could see the first hints of sunlight breaking through the canopy. The path ahead was still uncertain, but she knew they were one step closer to their goal. With Lumia by her side, she felt ready to face whatever lay ahead. The journey to return the silver star to the sky was far from over, but Elara knew they would succeed. Together, they would overcome any obstacle, guided by the light of friendship and the strength of their hearts. Elara and Lumia emerged from the dark forest into a landscape of rolling hills bathed in the golden light of dawn. The air was fresh and filled with the scent of blooming flowers. Elara felt a wave of relief wash over her as they left the shadows of the forest behind. However, their journey was far from over. Ahead of them lay a deep chasm, its depths obscured by swirling mists. A narrow, rickety bridge spanned the chasm, swaying gently in the breeze. Elara's heart sank at the sight of the bridge. It looked perilous, with worn planks and frayed ropes. The drop below seemed endless, and the sound of the wind whistling through the gorge added to her apprehension. "This must be the Bridge of Courage," Elara murmured, recalling the stories she had heard from the fairies in Orin. "We have to cross it." Lumia's light pulsed reassuringly. Elara took a deep breath, gathering her resolve. She stepped onto the first plank, testing its stability. The bridge creaked ominously, but it held. She took another step, then another, her grip tight on the frayed ropes. Halfway across, the wind picked up, causing the bridge to sway more violently. Elara's heart pounded in her chest, fear gripping her. She looked back at Lumia, whose glow remained steady and calm. "We can do this," she whispered to herself, focusing on the light of her companion. With each step, Elara felt her fear lessen, replaced by a growing sense of determination. She kept her eyes forward, refusing to look down into the abyss below. The bridge continued to creak and sway, but she moved with a steady, confident pace. As she neared the other side, a sudden gust of wind nearly knocked her off balance. Elara clung to the ropes, her knuckles white. For a moment, she felt a surge of panic, but then she remembered the words of Celine and Arian. "Trust in yourself and in the bond you share with Lumia." Elara closed her eyes, taking a deep breath. She felt the warmth of Lumia's light, a beacon of hope and strength. Opening her eyes, she took the final steps with unwavering resolve, reaching the other side of the chasm. She stepped off the bridge, her heart racing but triumphant. Elara turned to look back at the bridge, marveling at her own courage. She had faced her fear and emerged stronger. Lumia's light glowed brightly, a testament to their shared journey and the challenges they had overcome together. "We did it," Elara said, her voice filled with relief and pride. "Thank you, Lumia." The star's light pulsed in response, conveying a sense of shared achievement. Elara felt a deep sense of gratitude for the bond they shared. Each challenge they faced brought them closer, strengthening their friendship and their determination to reach their goal. The path ahead led them through a landscape of gentle hills and blooming wildflowers. The air was filled with the sounds of nature, a symphony of birdsong and rustling leaves. Elara felt a sense of peace and purpose as they continued their journey, knowing that they were one step closer to returning Lumia to the sky. As they walked, Elara thought about the lessons she had learned so far. Courage was not the absence of fear, but the strength to face it. Friendship was a powerful force, guiding and supporting them through every trial. And the light within them was a beacon, illuminating their path and inspiring them to keep moving forward. The journey was far from over, but Elara felt ready to face whatever lay ahead. With Lumia by her side, she knew they could overcome any obstacle. The light of the stars awaited them, and their bond would guide them through the darkest of times. Elara and Lumia continued their journey, the landscape gradually transforming from gentle hills to rugged terrain. The path became steeper, and the air grew cooler. Elara knew they were approaching the dragon's lair, a place of both danger and opportunity. She had heard stories of the dragon that resided there, a creature bound by a spell of loneliness. As they climbed, Elara noticed the sky darkening with thick, ominous clouds. The ground beneath their feet was strewn with jagged rocks, and the vegetation grew sparse. The air was filled with the distant rumble of thunder, and a sense of foreboding settled over them. Lumia's light flickered with an unusual intensity, reflecting Elara's own apprehension. "We must be close," she said, her voice barely audible over the rising wind. "Stay close to me, Lumia." The path led them to the entrance of a vast cave, its mouth framed by towering rock formations. The cave was dark and foreboding, and the air within felt heavy and cold. Elara hesitated, taking a deep breath to steady her nerves. She knew they had to face the dragon, but the stories of its fearsome appearance and fiery breath filled her with dread. Gathering her courage, Elara stepped into the cave, Lumia's light guiding their way. The walls of the cave were adorned with ancient carvings, depicting scenes of dragons and their guardians. The air was thick with the scent of sulfur, and the ground trembled with the dragon's presence. As they ventured deeper, a low growl echoed through the cavern, reverberating off the walls. Elara's heart pounded in her chest, but she pressed on, her determination unwavering. Finally, they entered a vast chamber, illuminated by a faint, eerie glow. At the center of the chamber lay the dragon, its massive form coiled on a bed of shimmering treasures. The dragon's scales glinted like molten metal, and its eyes glowed with an intense, otherworldly light. It lifted its head, fixing its gaze on Elara and Lumia. "Who dares to enter my lair?" The dragon's voice rumbled, filled with a mixture of curiosity and menace. Elara stepped forward, her voice steady despite her fear. "I am Elara, and this is Lumia. We seek to return her to the sky." The dragon's eyes narrowed, and it released a plume of smoke from its nostrils. "Many have come seeking my treasures or my power, but none have succeeded. Why should I listen to you?" Elara took a deep breath, meeting the dragon's gaze. "We do not seek your treasures or power. We seek your help. We know you are bound by a spell of loneliness, and we believe that together we can break it." The dragon's eyes widened slightly, a flicker of surprise crossing its features. "You speak of things you do not understand, child. This spell cannot be broken by mere words." Elara stepped closer, her determination shining through. "It can be broken by friendship and compassion. We are here to help you, not to harm you. Let us prove our sincerity." The dragon regarded Elara and Lumia for a long moment, its eyes searching their faces. Finally, it sighed, a sound like a distant storm. Very well. If you truly wish to help, you must prove your courage and compassion. Face the fire within this cavern and show me the strength of your heart. Elara nodded, feeling a surge of resolve. We will do it. The dragon uncoiled, revealing a hidden passageway lined with glowing crystals. The air grew hotter as they ventured deeper, the walls pulsing with an inner heat. Elara could feel the intensity of the dragon's challenge, but she pressed on, Lumia's light guiding their way. At the end of the passage, they reached a chamber filled with swirling flames. The heat was almost unbearable, but Elara knew she had to prove her courage. She stepped into the flames, feeling the searing heat, but also a strange sense of cleansing. Lumia's light flared, enveloping them both in a protective glow. As the flames subsided, Elara emerged unscathed, her heart filled with a newfound strength. The dragon awaited them, its eyes wide with astonishment. You have proven your courage and compassion, the dragon said, its voice filled with awe. The spell is broken. Thank you, Elara and Lumia. You have given me a gift beyond measure. The dragon's form began to shimmer, transforming into a beam of light that soared into the sky. The cavern filled with a warm, golden light, and Elara felt a sense of triumph and fulfillment. As they left the dragon's lair, Elara knew they were one step closer to their goal. The challenges ahead were still daunting, but she felt ready to face them with courage and friendship. The journey to return Lumia to the sky continued, each step bringing them closer to their destiny. With the dragon's blessing and the spell of loneliness broken, Elara and Lumia continued their journey with renewed determination. The path ahead led them through rugged terrain, where the air was crisp and the landscape starkly beautiful. As they traveled, the ground began to sparkle with tiny crystals embedded in the rock, catching the light from Lumia and creating a mesmerizing display. Elara knew they were approaching the crystal cave, a place of dazzling beauty and powerful magic. The stories she had heard described it as a labyrinth of shimmering walls and reflective surfaces, where one could easily become lost if not guided by a pure heart and clear mind. The entrance to the cave was unassuming, a narrow crevice in the side of a mountain. Elara squeezed through, her breath catching at the sight that greeted her. The interior of the cave was bathed in a soft, ethereal glow, with crystals of every size and color reflecting Lumia's light in a kaleidoscope of brilliance. Elara and Lumia ventured deeper into the cave, their path illuminated by the sparkling crystals. The air was cool and filled with the faint hum of magic, creating an atmosphere of awe and wonder. As they walked, the cave seemed to come alive, the crystals pulsating with a gentle rhythm that matched Lumia's light. The deeper they went, the more intricate the cave's formations became. Crystals jutted out from the walls in elaborate patterns, creating corridors and chambers that seemed to shift and change. Elara realized that the cave was not just a place of beauty, but also a test of her resolve and clarity. At a fork in the path, Elara hesitated. The cave offered multiple routes, each one shimmering with its own allure. She closed her eyes, focusing on the bond she shared with Lumia. The star's light pulsed gently, guiding her toward the correct path. They continued through the labyrinth, each turn revealing more breathtaking sights. Elara felt a growing sense of purpose, knowing that the challenges of the cave were meant to strengthen her spirit. She followed Lumia's light, trusting in their connection to lead them not true. Eventually, they reached the heart of the cave, a vast chamber filled with towering crystal formations. In the center stood a single, enormous crystal that radiated a brilliant, pure light. Elara approached it with a sense of reverence, knowing that this was the crystal of reflection. The crystal's surface was smooth and reflective, and as Elara looked into it, she saw her own reflection. But it was not just her physical self that she saw. The crystal revealed her true essence, the strength and courage that had brought her this far. She saw the bond she shared with Lumia, the trials they had overcome, and the light within her that had guided them. Tears filled Elara's eyes as she realized the depth of her journey. She had grown so much, not just in courage, but in understanding and compassion. The crystal seemed to pulse in response, its light merging with Lumia's to create a radiant glow that filled the chamber. As Elara stood before the crystal of reflection, a voice echoed through the cave, gentle and wise. "You have proven your heart's purity and strength. The light within you shines brightly, Elara. You are ready for the final leg of your journey." Elara nodded, feeling a deep sense of gratitude. "Thank you," she whispered, her voice filled with emotion. "We will continue our journey with courage and hope." The path out of the cave was illuminated by the combined light of Lumia and the crystal of reflection. As they emerged into the daylight, Elara felt a profound sense of accomplishment. The challenges they had faced had not only tested her resolve, but had also deepened her bond with Lumia. The next stage of their journey awaited, the climb to the Mountain of Echoes, where the final challenges would test their spirit. Elara felt ready, her heart filled with the light of the stars and the strength of friendship. With Lumia by her side, Elara looked up at the towering peaks of the Mountain of Echoes. The journey was nearing its end, and she knew they would face whatever lay ahead with courage and determination. Together, they would reach the sky and return Lumia to her rightful place among the stars. The path from the crystal cave led Elara and Lumia toward the looming peaks of the Mountain of Echoes. The air grew cooler, and the terrain became more rugged. Each step took them higher, the world below shrinking as they ascended toward the clouds. The mountain was known for its mysterious echoes, which was said to hold the wisdom of ages and the voices of those who had passed this way before. Elara felt a sense of anticipation mingled with trepidation. The climb was steep and challenging, but she was determined to reach the top. Lumia's light remained steadfast, a constant source of strength and encouragement. As they climbed, the path narrowed, winding around jagged rocks and sheer cliffs. The wind howled through the crevices, carrying with it faint whispers that seemed to call out to Elara. She paused, listening to the echoes. They were not just random sounds, but fragments of conversations, words of encouragement, and warnings from those who had ventured here before. "Elara, be strong," one voice whispered. "Trust in the light within you," another echoed. The voices bolstered her resolve, and she pressed on, her grip firm on the rocky surface. Lumia floated beside her, its light casting long shadows that danced on the mountainside. The journey was grueling, but each step brought them closer to their goal. After hours of climbing, they reached a plateau where the wind was fierce and unrelenting. Elara shielded her eyes against the gusts, her hair whipping around her face. In the center of the plateau stood a stone archway, weathered and ancient. The echoes here were louder, resonating through the archway with a haunting beauty. Elara stepped through the archway, and the world seemed to shift. The air grew still, and the echoes ceased. She found herself in a vast chamber filled with glowing crystals, each one pulsating with a soft light. In the center of the chamber stood a massive crystal pillar, its surface smooth and reflective. "This must be the heart of the mountain," Elara whispered, awed by the sight. Lumia's light pulsed in agreement. Elara approached the crystal pillar, her reflection shimmering on its surface. As she touched it, the echoes returned. But this time they were clear and harmonious, blending into a single, powerful voice. "Elara, guardian of the fallen star," the voice intoned. "You have shown great courage and compassion. The journey you have undertaken is one of self-discovery and growth. The mountain of echoes acknowledges your strength and grants you its blessing." Elara felt a warm energy flow through her, filling her with a sense of peace and purpose. The crystal pillar glowed brighter, and the echoes resonated with a harmonious melody that filled the chamber. She knew that she had passed the mountain's test. As she turned to leave, the echoes followed her, their melody a song of encouragement and triumph. The path down the mountain seemed less daunting, and Elara felt a renewed sense of determination. The final leg of their journey awaited, and she was ready to face it. Descending the mountain, Elara and Lumia reached the base where the landscape stretched out in a vast, open plain leading to the celestial gate. A place where the earthly realm met the sky. The air was filled with anticipation, and the horizon glowed with the promise of a new dawn. The journey to return Lumia to the sky was nearing its end, and Elara felt a profound sense of fulfillment. The challenges they had faced had strengthened their bond and revealed the true power of courage and friendship. With the mountain of echoes blessing, they were ready to take the final steps. As they approached the celestial gate, Elara looked at Lumia, whose light shone brighter than ever. "We're almost there," she said, her voice filled with emotion. "We've come so far together." Lumia's light pulsed in response, conveying a sense of gratitude and shared triumph. Together, they would complete their journey and return Lumia to her rightful place among the stars. The celestial gate shimmered in the distance, a radiant beacon that marked the final destination of their journey. Elara and Lumia moved toward it with a sense of awe and anticipation. The plain leading to the gate was vast and open, bathed in the golden light of dawn. Every step brought them closer to the culmination of their quest. As they neared the gate, Elara felt a mixture of emotions. Joy at having come so far, sadness at the thought of parting from Lumia, and a deep sense of fulfillment. The gate itself was a magnificent structure, made of luminescent stone that seemed to pulse with the energy of the stars. It stood tall and majestic, an archway that led to the heavens. Elara paused before the gate, her heart pounding. "This is it, Lumia," she said softly. "We've reached the end of our journey." Lumia's light pulsed brightly, conveying a sense of readiness and gratitude. Elara reached out and touched the gate, feeling a surge of warmth and energy. The gate responded to her touch, opening slowly to reveal a pathway of shimmering stardust that ascended into the sky. Elara took a deep breath, holding Lumia close. "Are you ready?" she asked. Lumia's light flared with a brilliant intensity, and Elara knew the star was ready to return home. With a final glance at the world they had travelled through, Elara stepped onto the stardust pathway. The ground beneath her feet felt solid yet ethereal, and she felt herself being lifted gently into the sky. As they ascended, the world below grew smaller, the landscape transforming into a tapestry of colours and light. The sky above was a vast expanse of stars, each one twinkling with a unique brilliance. Elara felt a sense of wonder and awe, knowing that they were entering a realm of pure magic. The pathway led them to a magnificent constellation that shimmered with a celestial light. It was the place where Lumia belonged, among the stars that watched over the world below. Elara felt a deep sense of reverence as they approached the constellation, its beauty taking her breath away. At the center of the constellation was a star-shaped cradle glowing with a soft, welcoming light. Elara gently placed Lumia into the cradle, feeling a surge of emotion. The star's light merged with the constellation, creating a dazzling display of colors that filled the sky. Tears filled Elara's eyes as she watched Lumia take its place among the stars. "You're home," she whispered, her voice filled with both joy and sorrow. "We did it." The constellation responded with a harmonious melody, a song of gratitude and celebration that echoed through the heavens. Elara felt a sense of peace and fulfillment, knowing that she had fulfilled her promise and completed their journey. As she turned to leave, a beam of starlight enveloped her, lifting her gently and guiding her back to the world below. The descent was swift and graceful, the starlight carrying her safely to the ground. Elara landed softly on the hill where her journey had begun. The night sky now filled with the brilliance of Lumia and the other stars. Elara gazed up at the sky, her heart filled with a profound sense of accomplishment. She had faced countless challenges, discovered the true meaning of courage and friendship, and returned a fallen star to its rightful place. The journey had changed her in ways she could never have imagined. As she made her way back to the village, the first light of dawn began to break over the horizon. The world was bathed in a soft golden glow, and Elara felt a renewed sense of purpose. She knew that the lessons she had learned and the bond she had shared with Lumia would stay with her forever. Elara walked through the village, her steps light and confident. She felt the eyes of the villagers upon her, their faces filled with curiosity and wonder. She smiled, knowing that she had a story to tell, a story of courage, friendship, and the light of a silver star. As Elara walked through the village, the familiar sights and sounds felt both comforting and new. The journey had transformed her, filling her with a sense of confidence and wisdom. She looked up at the sky, where Lumia now shone brightly among the stars, and felt a deep connection to the cosmos. Villagers gathered around her, their faces filled with curiosity and awe. "Elara, where have you been?" one of them asked. "We were so worried." Elara smiled, her heart swelling with emotion. "I've been on a journey to return a fallen star to the sky," she said. "Lumia, the silver star, needed to find her way home, and I promised to help her." The villagers listened in rapt attention as Elara recounted her adventure. She spoke of the magical map given by Orin, the talking owl, the trials in the whispering woods, and the guidance of the fairies. She described the Bridge of Courage, the Dragon's Lair, and the Crystal Cave, each challenge teaching her invaluable lessons about bravery, friendship, and inner strength. As she spoke, the villagers could see the changes in her, how she stood taller, her eyes shining with newfound wisdom. They were captivated by her tale, feeling the magic and wonder of her journey through her words. And in the end, Elara concluded, we reached the celestial gate. Lumia took her place among the stars, and now she watches over us all, a beacon of hope and light. The villagers cheered, their faces alight with admiration and pride. They saw Elara not just as a young girl, but as a hero who had undertaken a great quest and returned victorious. Elara felt a deep sense of fulfillment, knowing that her story had touched their hearts. As the sun set and the stars began to twinkle in the night sky, the village held a celebration in Elara's honor. They lit lanterns and candles, their lights mingling with the starlight above. Elara's parents embraced her, their eyes filled with tears of joy and pride. "We're so proud of you, Elara," her mother said, her voice trembling with emotion. "You've shown such courage and kindness." Elara hugged her parents tightly, feeling their love and support. "Thank you," she said softly. "I couldn't have done it without the help of so many wonderful friends and the light of Lumia." As the celebration continued, Elara felt a tap on her shoulder. She turned to see Orin, the wise owl, perched on a nearby tree branch. "You've done well, Elara," Orin said, his eyes gleaming with pride. "Your journey has inspired us all." Elara smiled, her heart filled with gratitude. "Thank you, Orin. Your guidance meant so much to us." Orin nodded, spreading his wings. "The stars will always guide you, Elara. Remember the lessons you've learned, and the light within you will never fade." As the night deepened, Elara looked up at the sky once more. The stars seemed to twinkle more brightly, as if acknowledging her achievement. She knew that Lumia was among them, a constant reminder of the journey they had shared. Elara felt a sense of peace and contentment. She had fulfilled her promise and discovered her own strength and courage. The bond she had formed with Lumia and the friends she had made along the way would always be a part of her. As the celebration drew to a close, Elara stood on the hill where her journey had begun. She gazed at the stars, feeling a deep connection to the universe. The light of Lumia and the other stars filled her with hope and inspiration, reminding her that anything was possible with courage, friendship, and the light within. Elara knew that her adventure had come to an end, but her journey was just beginning. She would carry the lessons and memories of her quest with her always, guiding her through life's challenges and illuminating her path with the light of the silver star.